Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's look is inspired by a Jackie Aina look. I did this in December, just now getting around to editing it, so I hope you guys enjoy this look. Just so you guys know, none of these clips have been sped up, so that's why this video is a little bit longer. I did get a comment asking if I could show some real-time clips of what it looks like for me to blend things in. So that is the prep spray. I'm going in with the rose water and the prep and prime spray. This is to prep the skin and give it some moisture. Then I'm going to go in and buff that in with a brush. Make sure you blend your sprays in, because when you don't blend them in and then you try to go in with your moisturizer, sometimes the moisturizer won't be able to properly seep into the skin because it's on top of that layer of, I guess you call it like moisture liquid. Especially if you're not giving it enough time to set in. Now, if you give it time to set in, you can skip that step. I'm going with the Bare Minerals Bare Haven moisturizer. As you guys have been seeing in my tutorials, I love this moisturizer. It's so funny. It was supposed to be a moisturizer that was only used after my other one ran out, but instantly I've been loving it. Then I was going with the Hangover Primer by Too Faced. I zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see this, and then I blend this in with my finger so it could really get into the skin and do what it needs to do. This is the only reason why I like doing eyes first, to give the skin products time to do what they need to do. But I love doing skin first because I feel like I'm able to blend better. So it's like such a tug of war. But I haven't been doing skin first, honestly, for a very long time now. Like, I've stopped doing it, which is crazy because I was doing it for so long and then I stopped doing it. But I think maybe today, the tutorial I filmed, maybe I'll have a skin first for you guys. Which one do you guys prefer? Comment that down below. So this is just a real-time clip of how long I take to buff these products in. Then I'm going in with the Studio Brow Powder to fill in her brows lightly. I just waxed her brows, so if you guys see any redness, that is because I literally waxed her brows right before we began to film this. Next, I'm going in with a Rimmel. No, that's a black opal stick foundation. I don't know what shade this is. If I had to guess, I'd probably say nutmeg or amber is what I'm. Oh yeah, probably nutmeg because it has that goldish tinge to it. I'm going to line her brows. This blends out really nicely. So if you don't like a lot of like obvious lines, I would say definitely try to do this with a cream foundation. Just make sure you properly set. Also, I forgot to include that I use the Becca Matte Primer in the kind of like the T-zone area. So that is why you see that matte kind of white cast there. Next, I'm going in with the CoverGirl True Match Concealer in the shade Golden Caramel. And I'm using this concealer as an eyeshadow primer. It's so weird to see this in real time. But I'm trying to show you guys some clips. So entire thing is, none of it's sped up, but you don't see the entire thing, just enough to get the gist. I'm going in with this purpley mauve shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I used the entire Jaclyn Hill palette for this look, and the Morphe, I think it's like 35C palette, perhaps. I'm gonna go to my feet and check. Hold on, my laptop's about to die. I'm so sorry, you guys, about that. Not all of the shades were shown because I know that is something that was complained about. This was before I got better at doing it. I made an attempt, but it's still, I get really distracted sometimes with talking to the model and just getting into like that creative zone. Sometimes I honestly forget the camera's there because I film these straight through, which is why it takes me a little bit longer to edit it, because I really have to make sure that there's nothing that you guys don't care about in there. So I just sometimes get really into the zone and forget to do it. So I'm very sorry, and I've gotten better with it, and I make sure to show the shades now. It's just that before I was really bad at it. So yeah, I'm just buffing that, and this is inspired by the Jackie Aina look that she did in her soft glam tutorial. You know, so funny guys, this is a new camera that I was using, and at the time I couldn't see the difference enough, so I returned it. And now that I'm looking at this video, I could see a clear difference in quality from this video to my quality now. This is the Sony A6 1000 in this video. So if you guys really love this quality, that's what this is. So next I'm going in with that purpley shade to kind of give it a purpley hue. Jackie Aina did like a purple, peachy kind of rose undertone, like a rosy kind of look. So that's the kind of vibe I was going for. So after I applied that peachy matte shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going in with Benefit's roller liner in the shade Brown. This is the liquid liner, and I'm going to take my brush with those two shades and I'm going to smudge out that brown liner. I went in with brown instead of black because black was a little bit harsh for the softer kind of look I wanted to achieve. But I still wanted it to have that smoked out effect, which is why I went in with those two deeper shades. Brown liquid liner is going to be something that you guys see in some of my upcoming tutorials, so keep an eye out for that because I do love some brown liquid liner like you guys don't even understand. Now I'm going in with the foundation. This is in the shade CAROB. Now this might look a little bit lighter if you compare it to her hyperpigmentation, but watch how this blends out next to her neck. It blends out like a dream. Like blending out this foundation was one of my favorite things to do. Around the outer edge, I went in with a slightly deeper shade, which is something I typically do to kind of mix it. I think it was Suede Mocha I went in. But if you guys look at how this blends out next to her neck, it's so nice. And I blend this for a long time. This is how my strokes are. Some people buff, but for me personally, I find with cream foundations, when I buff it, I find that it doesn't blend as evenly. I buff liquid, but I kind of do a swiping and pressing motion with my brush when it comes to a cream foundation. So this is just me buffing that bad boy in and really getting it blended so you can't see those lines anymore. And as you guys see, it looks so nice to her neck. Next, I'm going in with the shade 14 Amber by Milani. This shade is very close to the actual foundation shade I put in. So you always want to put a base shade before you go in with a super bright concealer. And then for the super bright concealer, I went in with Golden Caramel by CoverGirl, the True Match, for an extra brightening effect. But that is about the rate that I blend this and I apply these products. If you guys want a full-blown skin tutorial, which I've been wanting to do, I think I'll be able to do it on a model coming up very, very, very soon. Maybe even today. I might be able to do that with my model and maybe just split the tutorial up. Let me know if that's what you guys would like down below. It's just a full-blown skin tutorial. And if you guys have been watching my video, you guys know I always use that same foundation brush to buff out the highlighted areas. I find that this gives the smoothest transition for your highlighted areas if you don't want to have that appearance, especially when cameras come on, that you could see every part individually. Next, I'm going in with the Ebony Contour shade by Black Opal. I am just about to order Mogan from William Tuttle today, which kind of mimics this, but I do prefer how the William Tuttle does blend out. However, the William Tuttle shade that I have that's darker is Ebony. And Ebony is not bad, but it has a very strong neutral undertone to me, which can sometimes look way too deep and way too dark on um, certain tones instead of like a rich, deep brown like this shade. So hopefully I love Mogan. Then I'm going in with this kind of denser brush to blend this in, since this product, the Black Opal foundation sticks are very full coverage. So to blend them out for contour, it takes a couple different brushes to help it look as seamless as my William Tuttle does. Next is time to powder, 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 powder. I'm just locking in that powder. Press, 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 press my little life away. Um, and I'm using the Laura Mercier in the shade Deep to set those areas. Remember, once you press the powder in, it sets it, so just keep setting it if you feel like it needs more, but baking, it just gives you more work to wipe away. Honestly, the only time I bake is if I probably picked up too much product on my sponge, and then it's just sitting there, but I try to wipe it away fairly quick. To set all over her face, I'm going in with the Morphe foundation powder in the shade 13, and I'm using my Bare Minerals all over brush to set her foundation and her contour area, her entire face basically. Next, I'm going in with the Hoola Toasted Bronzer. I love this bronzer so much. If you guys have another bronzer for deeper skin tones that you prefer, please comment it down below. I've heard of Prime Beauty, and I know a lot of you guys are ranting and raving about the Fenty Mocha Mommy bronzer. However, she doesn't give pro discounts. So I tried to buy things with my pro discount, but I might have to stop being so cheap and go buy it. Next, I'm going in with those two blushes in my Stillazi palette. My Stillazi palette has broken out so much, and I really miss it, and I would love to buy a new one. But I'm really trying to get into the habit of using the products I have at home. By the way, guys, before you guys rush out and buy any of the things that you see I'm using, try to look into your own kits first and see what works already, and try to make it work until it can't work. Because believe it or not, even with powders and stuff like that, you can use them to capacity. Next, I'm going in with the Inglot 77 liner. I love this liner so much. Currently, mine is jammed, so I'm about to fulfill an order on Camera Ready Cosmetics to get some new one. Next, I'm going in with the Ruby Kisses deep dark brown liner and stuff. I just popped some lashes on. I know you guys hate me when it comes to lashes. Honestly, I just get random pairs from this place in Miami called Subi. They're like these like Mink lashes. They sell for like $2. So it's like, unless you live in Miami, you really wouldn't be able to get the lashes. Next, I'm going in with the shade Bear With Me by Dose of Colors, and I just have her buff that together. And then I'm going to go in with a pink gloss from NYX called Cotton Candy. But yeah, this is the final look. I really love how it came out and stuff like that. It's very versatile, very different. I really like. Oh, and then I went in with the Wild and Radiant highlighter by BH Cosmetics. I love this highlighter palette so much. But yeah, try to use this in your kit first, because believe it or not, you will get to, once you start using something enough, you will hit pan on it. So try to use this in your kit first before you go and go on a shopping spree. Next, I'm spraying the face. By the way, I spray my client's face a lot because, especially now that I use more powders, for those powders to really seep in and lock in and get rid of that powdery look, you really, really want to make sure you give an even overall even spray. What she's doing right now, do not let your clients do this where they talk. Because what I actually ended up having to do, since she was talking at the moment, I had to go in and try to buff in her smile line some more. Because when you kind of wet the face, it will kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes things more movable. But this is the final look. I really love how this came out, inspired by Jackie Aina. I love it with her hair, her jewelry, her everything. I really feel like it fit her vibe, going on for like a, you know, a subtle, classy look and stuff. So if you guys love this look, continue to watch because, I mean, I got more content coming. Not with this quality though. Bye.